Hey guys, so today we're going to take a look at the engineering design process. So our main question to look at is, what is the engineering design process, what it's used for, all of that stuff. And we're going to explain exactly what it is through some slightly unique ways. To begin with, an engineering design process, really any design process for that matter, is really just a systematic process for going through and solving a problem. It really doesn't matter what the problem is per se. What does matter is that we need to come up with a solution to the problem. And there's some steps that we need to do that. We're actually going to follow 6 steps to be able to knock this all out. Let's start with step number 1. So step 1 is finding a problem or defining the problem. And that's a little different because we have to make sure the problem actually exists in the real world. If I say that I want like the sky to fall and I think that's a problem that the sky is not falling, well, it's not a real problem in the world. What a real problem is something where we need to have a solution based on wants or needs. That somebody wants it, somebody needs it, and that's more than just like one person. So in this example that I'm going to go through here in a second, I'm going to say that I'm hired by McDonald's to come up with a new special sauce. People are tired of the special sauce on a Big Mac, and we need to go through and find a new one. So the old one, just a heads up, was Thousand Island dressing, I think. So we're going to find a new special sauce to put on a Big Mac burger. Of the engineering design process is called generating concepts, and there's 2 main things that happen here. Number 1 is you're going to do research. So you want to see what exists out there, what technology is available, what solutions may exist already to your problem. The second thing you're going to do is brainstorm, because you need to generate new ideas, and the best way to do that is brainstorming. There's a ton that we could talk about with both these, but I'm not going to cover that right now. What I really just want to focus on is that we know that there's 2 things you do during this step. 1 is find and do research, and 2 is to go through and generate brainstorming ideas. Just getting anything out there that you think possibly could solve it, even if it's actually a terrible idea, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Step 3 is generating a solution. Now, this is where we go through and actually start doing some work as far as putting something together to present. So we go through, we've already done our research, we've done our brainstorming, we figured out what exactly we want to do. Now we're going to start constructing and kind of figuring out how what we're doing works. If we're doing something more technological based, we're going to do some technical drawings. We're going to get some stuff ready for manufacture. But because we're making a Big Mac sandwich, we're going to go to the kitchen and start trying to figure out what exactly is going to work for our Big Mac topping. Go into the kitchen. What are we going to find? So at this point we have our ideas of what we're going to do. We have a bunch of pieces of bread. We're going to try some Italian dressing. We're going to try some sweet honey Catalana, some barbecue sauce, some hot sauce. We have some feta herb and some Parmesan cheddar. So we're going to try to see if any of these are going to work with the burger. We're going to first taste them together and see if any combinations work, and then we'll try them out with the burger. Oh, that's a lot of cheddar. Okay, so out of the combination we have Italian and hot sauce. Don't know how that's going to go, but maybe it might be something good. We have Parmesan, Caesar, and this sweet honey thing, which I don't know what that tastes like. And then we have barbecue sauce, which I love, and then some feta, which may or may not be good. So let's go through, mix these up, taste them together, and see what's going on. Okay, so our first combination is Italian dressing and Texas Pete hot sauce. Lord help me. All right, so I have a knife here. We're just gonna mix that together a little bit, get it into the bread. and then we'll see how this combination goes. Surprisingly not that bad, actually. The zestiness of the Italian works well, and then it's followed by the heat of the hot sauce. But the zesty kind of flavor of this stuff gets you right away, and then it goes into the hot sauce. Surprisingly not that bad of a combination. I wasn't really super high on this one because I didn't think it'd be good, but it's pretty tasty. Our second one was the sweet honey thing, and then we have Parmesan Caesar. Don't have high hopes for this one either, but my research showed me that it's not too bad, and that it should be pretty good of what we have. I actually don't know what this one actually tastes like by itself. My research just showed me what it tasted, that it tasted good. So let's go through and taste this. That was not good. That was not good together. The Caesar is really, really cheesy. It tastes like Caesar dressing, and there's lots of pieces of cheese in it. And then this guy, the honey sweetness, it's just too sweet. So you get the cheese, which is really thick and creamy, and you have something that's really sweet on top of it. Just too much savory kind of stuff on top of each other. Not a fan. And then our final one is barbecue sauce and feta, because I've heard feta is good on burgers. I've actually had it on burgers before. I've heard it's good, but I've never seen it in a dressing. So we have feta dressing. And then barbecue sauce is also good on burgers, but combined with feta, it might be even better. So let's go through and test that one out and see what we have here. No, that's not that bad either. This is pretty sweet barbecue sauce. It's sweet and savory. And then this just provides a nice little twist on it, little soury kind of thing. It's a good twist, it's not bad. So I've had to rank these and go through and rate them on what I would suggest we go forward with. And what I would actually do here is I'd go through and start talking to a whole bunch of people, give them taste tests of what they think, and see how that works for them. But if I had to rank them, dead last place is this. This is hot garbage, not good. We're gonna put that away. Number 2 would be barbecue sauce and feta. Both things that are on burgers by themselves and combined, not bad at all. But my number 1 is actually the hot sauce and the Italian dressing. I really like the zest of this. I think it brings out a lot of flavor. And then this thing comes in and provides some heat at the end, which I really liked. It might not be for everybody, but this is where we're at. And my research shows that people more and more are starting to like spicy foods, so maybe this is going to be something that we can catch a trend with and go with. 4, I'm not going to actually show what would happen, but normally what we would do is we take our winner, which is this guy right here, and we go through and develop a full prototype, which is a full-scale version. So we'd have the Big Mac without the special sauce, and we go through and put our new special sauce on it and see how it tastes. Now, I'm shooting this at about like 10:30 at night at McDonald's. I'm not driving to it to do this, but if I was really hired by McDonald's, this would be something I'd do in a test kitchen, and we test out and see how this worked, and then we get feedback from our customers and see if they thought this was good or if it was hot garbage. But in all honesty, I actually really like this. I might try that on a Big Mac at some point in the future. Step 5 is to evaluate our solution. So we've gone through, we've built everything, we think we have a prototype that works, and we've tested it, we get feedback and all that. Now we have to evaluate how well it did. We're going to put it through some tests, we're going to put it through some focus groups, depending on what's being done. So if this was McDonald's, what they would do if it got past the initial testing group is they would open it up at just a few restaurants and see how customers responded. If they love it, they'll open up it more. If they hate it right out of the gate, it's dead. It's never going to be seen in any stores ever. But this stuff here, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm keeping this. It's good. I like it. So they're going to evaluate the solution and see what's going on, just to see a test of what exactly happened there. And then finally, step 6 is going to be to present the solution. So if I've gone through all this work and I was hired by McDonald's to do this and I've tested it, I think we really have a great solution and I'm really happy about it. Then I'm going to present this to McDonald's and say what it is. I could tell them what needs to be improved, any problems I ran into, whatever they need to know, I will provide them. But I've gone through the entire engineering design process. I started with a problem, I went through research and brainstorming, I worked on solutions, I made the solution, I tested it, I developed it, all that, and then I presented it to my client. So we took a look at everything from beginning, the thoughts, the build, evaluation of the build, and then finally presenting it. So we covered all of the stuff that we need to do in those steps, and that's fantastic. That's all we need to do to follow the engineering design process. There's one other thing I need to mention about the engineering design process, and that's that it's iterative. Iterative just means that we go through different steps of the process over and over and over again, always improving. So you saw that I had my initial 3 ideas that I thought would work well. We tested them. We came out with one that was pretty good, but there's another one that wasn't bad at all either. So maybe what I would do is adjust the ratios of just those a little bit, or find something that's close and just tweak it slightly to make it even better. So I'd go back to a previous step and redo that step or redo parts of it in order to get a better solution for the next start of the step. So it's really what's called iterative. Again, just repeating the same thing over and over and over again to get the best possible solution. Now, there's a thing that we called failing often in order to succeed early. It's by a company called IDEO, or IDEO for short. And basically their idea is that if you come up with a bunch of bad ideas, that's better than coming up with one good idea. Because the one good idea may happen once, but it's not going to be something you can repeat over and over and over again. If you follow the engineering design process, you're going to go through lots of failures, but those failures are going to lead you to success. So a lot of failures really quickly are going to lead to success faster and more often and more repeatedly, more predictably, and have everything ready to go there. Now again, the engineering design process we're looking at in tech class, but it can be applied to pretty much any problem you have. It just means that you go through the process. Remember, a systematic process. We're going to go through those 6 steps and we're going to go through. And then after we go through this whole thing, we may decide to go out and develop more. So we might do a product innovation where we make a change to an existing product and go through and do whatever we need to do with that. That's a talk for another time, but right now we're going to finish this up with the engineering design process. It's systematic. We're using it as 6 steps, but it can really be more or less depending on the system that you follow. And we're going to go through and talk about more stuff associated with that in just a little bit. I'll see you then.